Hello and welcome back to another episode of 40 Things That I Have Learned on My Road to Turning 40. So today I have learned that it's best to choose quality over quantity. I was that girl that would go to the store that sold the really cheap clothing for a really low price and get the really cheap shoes. I had a closet filled with clothing and shoes. However, the corns on my feet, my toes increased, and after just sometimes a few washes, the clothing would just fall apart. So while I had a closet filled with clothing and shoes, they really all belonged in the garbage because they were just really junk. I got what I paid for. And while that's a true and funny story of how, one of the ways that I've learned that quality is best over quantity, I've learned this lesson or learned to apply this lesson in other areas of my life. So, for example, even when it comes to spending time with the Lord, I remember that I was, when I first came to know the Lord, I was just so focused on reading as many chapters in a day as I could. And while I would read a lot, it was very difficult for me to retain what I read because I was going wide as opposed to going deep. So I was more focused on the quantity as opposed to the quality. Well, now as I've matured in the Lord, sometimes I'm just really meditating on one or two verses in one day, in one, sitting. So when I'm able to meditate on that word, it's able to stick, and just, when I'm able to pull it apart and really understand what the Lord is saying, I get deeper revelation. So again, I'm focusing on more quality over quantity. And I also think about sometimes I observe people and they are afraid of getting into a committed relationship. So they will get with 15 different knuckleheads at different times, or different women who play them if it's a man, as opposed to just making a commitment, the quantity of one good woman. They're so afraid of getting in a good relationship or getting in a relationship, so they just are all about quantity. How many women and men can I tap into? And of course we know that that leads to just a dead end. So there's more areas in which this principle can apply, right? Choosing quality over quantity. And I just even think about what, scripture tells us, what the Lord tells us. Hey, I came to give you life and to give you that more abundantly. I want to give you abundant life. I want to give you a satisfying life. I want to give you a quality life. So I just want to encourage you to really just pause and not focus on quantity, but more focus on quality. All right, you be blessed.